Hi guys, I'm back. Today I'm going to Deuteronomy 3-7, Proverbs 23, and Psalm 144. Let's get started. Next we turned and went up along the road toward Bashan. Og marched out with his whole army. They fought against us at Edrei. Og was the king of Bashan. The Lord said to me, "Do not be afraid of Og. I have handed him over to you. I have also handed over his whole army and his land. Do to him what you did to Sihon." Sihon was the Amorite king who ruled in Heshbon. So the Lord our God also handed Og, the king of Bashan, and his whole army over to us. We struck them down. We didn't leave any of them alive. At that time we took all the cities. There were 60 of them. We took the whole area of Argob. That was Og's kingdom in Bashan. All those cities had high walls around them. The city gates were made secure with heavy metal bars. There were also large numbers of villages that didn't have walls. We completely destroyed them. We did to them as we had done to Sihon, the king of Heshbon. We destroyed all their cities. We destroyed the men, women, and children, but we kept for ourselves the livestock and everything else we took from their cities. So at that time, we took the territory east of the Jordan River. We captured it from those two Amorite kings. The territory goes all the way from the Arnon River Valley to Mount Hermon. Hermon is called Syrian by the people of Edom. The Amorites call it Sinir. We captured all the towns on the high plains. We took the whole land of Gilead, and we captured the whole land of Bashan as far away as Salcah and Edrei. Those were towns that belonged to Og's kingdom in Bashan. Og, the king of Bashan, was the only Rephaite left. His bed was decorated with iron. It was more than 13 feet long and 6 feet wide. It is still in the Ammonite city of Rabbah. When we divided up the land we took over at that time, I gave the tribes of Reuben and Gad the territory north of Aurora by the Arnon River Valley. It includes half of the hill country of Gilead together with its towns. I gave the rest of Gilead to half of the tribe of Manasseh. I also gave them the whole land of Bashan, the kingdom of Og. The whole area of Argob in Bashan used to be known as the land of the Rephaites. Jair took the whole area of Argob. He was from the family line of Manasseh. Argob goes all the way from the border of the people of Geshur and Makkah. It was named after Jair, so Bashan is called Havoth Jair to this very day. I gave Gilead to Machir, but I gave to the tribes of Reuben and Gad the territory that reaches from Gilead down to the Arnon River Valley. It goes all the way to the Jabbok River. The Jabbok is the northern border of Ammon. The middle of the Arnon River Valley is its southern border. The western border of Reuben and Gad is the Jordan River and the Arabah Valley. It reaches from the Sea of Galilee to the Dead Sea. It runs down the slopes of Pisgah. Here is the command I gave at that time to the tribes of Reuben and Gad and half of the tribe of Manasseh. I said, "The Lord your God has given you this land as your very own, but all your strong men must be prepared for battle. They must cross over ahead of the rest of the Israelites, but your wives and children can stay in the towns I've given you. You can keep your livestock there too. I know you have a lot of livestock. The Lord has given you peace and rest. Then let your families and livestock stay in those towns until the Lord gives peace and rest to the other tribes. And let your families stay until the other tribes have taken over the Lord your God has given you. That land is across the Jordan River. After that, each of you may go back to the land I've given you as your very own." At that time, I gave Joshua a command. I said, "Your own eyes have seen everything the Lord your God has done to Sihon and Og. He will do the same thing to all the kingdoms in the land where you are going. Don't be afraid of them. The Lord your God himself will fight for you." At that time I made my appeal to the Lord. And he said, "Lord and King, you have begun to show me how great you are. You have shown me how strong your hand is. You do great works and mighty acts. There isn't any God in heaven or on earth who can do what you do. Let me go across the Jordan River. Let me see the good land beyond it. I want to see the fine hill country in Lebanon." But the Lord was angry with me because of what you did. You haven't listened to me. "That is enough," the Lord said. Do not speak to me anymore about this matter. Go up to the highest slopes of Pisgah. Look west and north and south and east. Look at the land with your own eyes. But you are not going to go across the Jordan River. So appoint Joshua as the new leader. Help him to be brave. Give him hope and strength. He will take these people across the Jordan. You will see the land, but he will lead them into it to take it as their own. So we stayed in the valley near Beth Peor. Now, Israel, listen to the rules and laws I'm going to teach you. Obey them and you will live. You will govern and take over the land. The Lord was the God of your people long ago. He is giving you the land. Don't add to what I'm commanding. Don't subtract from it either. Instead, obey the commands of the Lord your God that I'm giving you. Your own eyes saw what the Lord your God did at Baal Peor. You worshipped every one of your people who worshipped the Baal that was worshipped at Baal Peor. But all of you who remain true to the Lord your God are still alive today. I have taught you rules and laws, just as the Lord my God commanded me. Obey them in the land you are entering to take as your very own. Be careful to keep them. That will show the nations how wise and understanding you are. They will hear about all these rules. They will say, that great nation certainly has wise and understanding people. The Lord our God, who is near us every time we pray to him. What other nation is great enough to have its gods that close too? I'm giving you the laws of the Lord today. What other nation is great enough to have rules and laws as fair as these? Don't be careless. Instead, be very careful. Don't forget the things your eyes have seen. As long as you live, don't let those slip from your mind. Teach them to your children and their children after them. Remember the day you stood at Mount Horeb. The Lord your God was there. He said to you, bring the people to me to hear my words. I want them to learn to have respect for me as long as they live in the land. I want them to teach my words as their children. You came near and stared at the foot of the mountain. It blazed with fire that reached as high as the very heavens. There were black clouds and deep darkness. And then the Lord spoke to you out of the fire. You heard the sound of his words, but you didn't see any shape or form. You only heard a voice. He announced his covenant too. That covenant is the 10 Commandments. He commanded you to obey them. Then he wrote them down on 2 stone tablets. At that time, the Lord directed me to teach you his rules and laws. You must obey them in the land you are crossing the Jordan River to take as your right. The Lord spoke to you in Mount Horeb out of the fire, but you didn't see any shape or form that day. So be very careful. Make sure you don't commit a horrible sin. Don't make for yourselves a statue of a god. Don't make you a god that looks like a man or woman or anything else. Don't make one that looks like an animal on earth or any bird that flies in the sky. Don't make a statue that looks like any creature that moves on the ground or any fish that swims in the water. When you look up at the heavens, you will see the sun and moon, and you'll see huge numbers of stars. Don't let anyone tempt you to bow down to the sun, moon, or stars. Don't worship things the Lord your God has provided for all the nations on earth. Egypt was like a furnace that melts iron down and makes it pure. But the Lord took you and brought you out of Egypt. He wanted you to be his very own people, and that's exactly what you are. The Lord was angry with me because of what you did. He promised he would never let me go across the Jordan River. He promised that I would never enter that good land. It's the land the Lord your God has given you as your right. How dare you in this land? I won't go across the Jordan, but you are about to cross over it. You will take that good land as your right. Be careful. Don't forget the covenant the Lord your God made it with you. Don't make for yourself a statue of a god at all. He has told you not to, so don't do it. The Lord your God is like a fire that burns everything up. He wants you to worship only him. So don't make a statue of a god. Don't commit that horrible sin. Don't do it even after you've had children and grandchildren. Don't do it even after you have lived in the land for a long time. If you do, that will be an evil thing in the sight of the Lord your God. You will make him angry. Today I'm calling out to the heavens and the earth to be witnesses against you. Suppose you do these things, then you will quickly die in the land you are going across the Jordan River to take over. You won't live there very long. You'll suddenly be destroyed. The Lord will drive you out of your land. He'll scatter you among the nations. Only a few of you will remain alive there. There you will worship gods that men have made out of wood and stone. Those gods can't see, hear, eat, or smell. Perhaps while you are there, you will seek the Lord your God. You will find him and seek him with all your heart and with all your soul. All the things I have told you about might happen to you, and you will be in trouble. But later you will return to the Lord your God. You will obey you. The Lord your God is tender and loving. He won't leave you or destroy you. He won't forget the covenant he made with your people long ago. He gave his word when he made it. Ask now about the days of long ago. Find out what happened long before your time. Ask about what happened since the time God created human beings on the earth. Ask from one end of the world to the other. Has anything as great as this ever happened? Has anything like it ever been heard of? You heard the voice of God speaking out of the fire, and you lived. And has that happened to any other people? Has any God ever tried to take one nation out of another to be his own? Has any God done it by testing his people? Has any God done it with signs of amazing deeds or with war? Has any God reached out his mighty hand and powerful arm? Or has any God shown his people his great and wonderful acts? The Lord your God did all those things for you in Egypt. With your very own eyes you saw him do. The Lord showed you those things so that you might know he is God. There is no other God except him. From heaven he made you hear his voice. He wanted to teach you. On earth he showed you his great fire. You heard his words coming out of the fire. He loved the people of London. He chased their children after them. So he brought you out of Egypt. He used his great strength to do it. He drove out nations to make room for you. They are greater and stronger than you are. He will bring you into their land. He wants to give it to you as your very own. The whole land is as good as yours right now. The earth is God and heaven above and on the earth below. Today you must agree with that and take it to heart. There is no other God. I'm giving you his rules and commands today. Obey them, and then things will go well with you and your children after you. You will live a long time in the land. The Lord your God is giving you the land for all time to come. Then Moses set a path through cities east of the Jordan River. Suppose someone killed a person they didn't hate and without meaning to do it. That person could run to one of their cities and stay alive. Here are the names of the cities. Bezer was for the people of Reuben. It was in the high plains in the desert. Ramoth was for the people of Gad. It was in Gilead. Golan was for the people of Manasseh. It was in Bashan. Here's the law Moses gave the Israelites. Here are their terms, rules, and laws. Moses gave them to the people when they came out of Egypt. They were now east of the Jordan River in the valley near Beth Peor. They were in the land of Sihon, the king of the Amorites. He ruled in Heshbon. But Moses sent the Israelites on the battle over him after we came out of Egypt. They captured his land and made it their own. They also took the land of Og, the king of Bashan. Sihon and Og were the two Amorite kings east of the Jordan River. Their land reached from Arawa on the brim of the Arnon River to Arnon River Valley to Mount Hermon. It included the whole Araba Valley east of the Jordan. It included land all the way to the Dead Sea below the slaves of Pisgah. Moses said for all the Israelites, here's what he said to them. Israel, listen to me. Here are the rules and laws I'm announcing to you today. Learn them well. Be sure to obey. The Lord our God made a covenant with us in Mount Horeb. He didn't make it only with our people of long ago. He also made it with us. In fact, he made it with all of us who are alive here today. The Lord spoke to you face to face. His voice came out of the fire on the mountain. At that time I stood between the Lord and you. I announced to you the Lord's message. I did it because you were afraid of the fire. You didn't go up to the mountain. The Lord said, I am the Lord your God. I brought you out of Egypt. That is the land where you were slaves. Do not put any other gods in place of me. Do not make statues of gods that look like anything in the sky or on the earth or in the woods. Do not bow down to them or worship them. I am the Lord your God. I want you to worship only me. I cause the sins of the parents to affect their children. I will cause the sins of those who hate me to affect even their grandchildren and great-grandchildren. But for all time to come, I show love to all those who love me and keep my commitments. Do not misuse the name of the Lord your God. The law will find guilty anyone who misuses his name. Keep the Sabbath day holy. Do this just as the Lord your God has commanded you. Do all your work in 6 days. But the 7th day is a Sabbath to honor the Lord your God. Do not do any work on that day. The same command applies to your sons and daughters, your male and female servants, your oxen, your donkeys, and your other animals. It also applies to any outsiders who live in your towns. I want your male and female servants to rest, just as you do. Remember that you were slaves in Egypt. The Lord your God reached out his mighty hand and powerful arm and brought you out of there. So the Lord your God has commanded you to keep the Sabbath day holy. Honor your father and mother, just as the Lord your God has commanded you. Then you will live a long time in the land he has given you, and things will go well with you there. Do not murder. Do not commit adultery. Do not steal. Do not be a false witness against your neighbor. Do not want to have your neighbor's wife. Do not desire anything your neighbor owns. Do not desire to have your neighbor's wife, house or land, male or female servant, ox or donkey. These are the commandments the Lord announced in a loud voice to your whole community. He gave them to you there on the mountain. He spoke out of the fire, cloud, and deep darkness. He didn't add anything else. Then he wrote the commandments on 2 stone tablets, and he gave them to me. The mountain was blazing with fire. You heard the voice coming out of the darkness. So your elders and all the leaders of your tribes came to me. You said, The Lord our God has shown us his glory and majesty. We have heard of his voice coming out of the fire. Today we have seen that a person can still stay alive, even if God speaks with them. But why should we die? This great fire will burn us up. We will die if we hear the voice of the Lord our God again. We have heard the voice of the living God. We've heard him speaking out of the fire. Has any other human being ever heard him speak like that and stayed alive? Go near and listen to everything the Lord our God said, and tell us what he told us. We will listen and obey. The Lord heard you when you spoke to me. He said to me, I have heard that what these people have said to you. Everything they said was good, but I wish that they would always have respect for me in their hearts. I wish they would always obey all my commands. Then things would go well with them, and they turn forever. Go and tell them to return to their tents, but you stay here with me. Then I'll give you all my commands, rules, and laws. You must teach the people to obey them in the land I am giving you as their very own. So be careful to do what the Lord your God has commanded you. Don't turn away from his commands to the right or the left. Live exactly as the Lord your God has commanded you to live. You will enjoy life in the land you will soon own. Things will go well with you there. You'll live there for a long time. The Lord your God has directed me to teach you his commands, rules, and laws. Obey them in the land you will take over when you go across the Jordan River. There you, your children, and their children after you through them will honor the Lord your God as long as you live. Obey all his rules and commands I'm giving you. If you do, you will enjoy a long life. Listen to me. Make sure you obey me. Then things will go well with you. The number of your people will increase greatly in a land that is plenty of milk and honey. That's what the Lord, the God of your parents, promised you. Now listen to me. The Lord is our God. The Lord is the one and only God. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. Love him with all your strength. The commandments I give you today must be in your heart. Make sure your children learn them. Talk about them when you are at home. Talk about them when you walk along the road. Speak about them when you go to bed. And speak about them when you get up. Write them down and tie them on your hands as a reminder. Also tie them on your foreheads. Write them on the door frames of your houses. Also write them on your gates. The Lord your God will bring you into the land of Canaan. He gave his word. He promised he would give the land to your fathers, to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The land has large, wealthy cities you didn't build. In his house is filled with all kinds of good things you didn't provide. The land has wells you didn't dig, and there's vineyards and groves of olive trees you didn't plant. You will have plenty to eat, but be careful that you don't forget the Lord. And remember that he brought you out of Egypt. That's the land where you are slaves. Worship the Lord your God. He is the only one you should serve. When you make promises, do so in his name. Don't serve the gods of the nations around you. The Lord your God is among you. He wants you to worship only him. If you worship other gods, God will be very angry with you, and he will destroy you from the face of the land. Don't test the Lord your God as you did in Massa. Be sure to obey the Lord's command. Obey the terms and rules he has given you. Do what is right and good in the Lord's eyes. Then things will go well with you. You'll go in and take over the land. It's the good land the Lord promised to your people long ago. You'll drive out all your enemies to make room for you. That's what the Lord said would happen. Later on, your child might ask you, what is the meanings of the terms, rules, and laws the Lord our God has commanded you to obey? If they do, tell them, we were Pharaoh's slaves in Egypt, but the Lord used his mighty hand to bring us out of Egypt. With our own eyes we saw the Lord and sent amazing signs. They were great and terrible. He sent them on Egypt and Pharaoh and everyone in his house. But the Lord brought us out of Egypt. He planned to bring us into the land of Canaan and give it to us. It's the land he promised to our people long ago. The Lord our God commanded us to obey all his rules. He commanded us to honor him. If we do, we will always succeed and be kept alive. That is what is happening today. We must make sure we obey the whole law in the sight of the Lord our God. If that's what he has commanded us to do. If we obey his law, he will be doing what he requires of us. The Lord your God will bring you into the land you are going to enter and take it as your own. He will drive out many nations to mingle with you. He will drive out the Hittites, Girgashites, Amorites, Canaanites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites. Those 7 nations are larger and stronger than you are. The Lord your God will hand them over to you. You will win them out over them. You must completely destroy them. Don't show a peace treaty with them. Don't show them any mercy. Don't marry any of their people, and don't give your daughters to their sons. And don't take their daughters for your sons. If you do, those people will turn your children away from serving the Lord. Then your children will serve other gods. The Lord will be very angry with you. He will quickly destroy you. So here's what you must do to those people. Break down their altars. Smash their sacred poles. Cut down the poles they used to worship the female god named Asherah. Burn the statues of their gods in the fire. You are a holy nation. The Lord your God has set you apart for himself. He has chosen you to be his special treasure. He chose you out of all the nations on the face of the earth to be his people. The Lord chose you because he loved you very much. He didn't choose you because you had more people than other nations. In fact, you had the smallest number of all. The Lord chose you because he loved you. He wanted to keep the promise he had made to your people of long ago. That's why he used his mighty hand to bring you out of Egypt. He brought you back from the land where you were slaves. He set you free from the power of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. So I want you to realize that the Lord your God is God. He is the faithful God. He keeps his covenant for all time to come. He keeps it with those who love him and obey his commandments. He will show them his love, but he will pay back those who hate him. He will destroy them. He will quickly pay back those who hate him. So be careful to obey the commands, rules, and laws I'm giving you today. Pay attention to the laws of the Lord your God. Be careful to obey. Then he will keep his covenant of love with you. That's why he promised to your people of long ago. The Lord will love you and bless you. He will cause there to be many of you. He will give you many children. He will bless the crops of your land. He will bless the crops of your land. He will give you plenty of grain, olive oil, and fresh wine. He will bless your herds with many colts. He will give your flocks many lambs. He will do all these things for you in the land of Canaan. It's the land he promised your people of long ago that he would give you. He will bless you more than any other nation. All your men and women will have children. All your livestock will have little ones. The Lord will keep you from getting sick. The Lord, he won't send on you any of the horrible sicknesses you saw all around you in Egypt, but he will send them on everyone who hates you. You must destroy all the nations the Lord your God hands over to you. Don't feel sorry for them. Don't serve their gods. If you do, they will be a trap for you. You might say to yourself, these nations are stronger than we are. How can we drive them out? But don't be afraid of them. Be sure to remember what the Lord your God did to Pharaoh and all the Egyptians. With your own eyes you saw what the Lord did to him. You saw the signs and amazing things he did. He reached out his mighty hand and powerful arm. The Lord your God used all those things to bring you out. You are now afraid of the nations that are in the land the Lord promised you, that the Lord your God will do to them the same things he did to Egypt. The Lord your God will also send hornets among those nations. Some of the people left alive will hide from you, but even they will die. So don't be terrified by them. The Lord your God is with you. He is a great and wonderful God. The Lord your God will drive out those nations to make room for you, but he will do it little by little. You won't be allowed to get rid of them all at once. If you do, wild animals would multiply all around you. But the Lord your God will hand those nations over to you. He will throw them into a panic until they are destroyed. He will hand their kings over to you. You will wipe out their names from the earth. No one will be able to stand up against you. He will destroy them. burn the statues of the gods in the fire. Don't wish for silver and gold on those statues. Don't take it for yourself. If you do, it will be a trap for you. The Lord your God hates it. Don't bring anything he hates into your house. If you do, you will be completely destroyed along with it. So hate it with all your heart. It is their part to be destroyed. Proverbs 23. When you sit down to eat with a ruler, look carefully at what's in front of you. Put a knife to your throat if you like to eat too much. Don't look for fancy food. It can fool you. Don't wear yourself out to get rich. Don't trust how wise you think you are. When you take even a quick look at riches, they are gone. They grow wings and fly away into the sky like an eagle. Don't eat the food of anyone who doesn't want to share. Don't look for his fancy food. He's the kind of person who is always thinking about how much it costs. You don't drink, he says to you, but he doesn't mean it. You throw what little you have eaten. You have wasted your words of praise. Don't speak to foolish people. They'll laugh at your wise words. Don't move all boundaries down. Don't try to take over the fields of children whose fathers have died. That's because the God who guards them is strong. He will stand up for them and war against them. Apply your heart to what you're taught. Listen carefully to words and not. Don't hold back correction from a child. If you correct them, they won't die. So correct them. Then you will save them from death. My son, if your heart is light, my heart will be very glad. Deep down inside, I will be happy when you say what is right. But do not long for what's in here, but always show great respect for the Lord. There really is hope for you in days to come, so your hope will not be cut off. My son, listen and be wise. Set your heart on the right path. Don't join those who drink too much wine. Don't join those who stuff themselves with meat. Those who drink or eat too much will become poor. If they sleep too much, they'll have to wear rags. Listen to your father who gave you life. Don't hate your mother when she is old. Buy the truth and don't sell. Get wisdom, instruction, and understanding as well. The father of a godly child is very happy. A man who has a wise son is glad. May your father and mother be glad. May the woman who gave birth to you be joyful. My son, give me your heart. May you be happy living the way you see me live. An unfaithful wife is like a deep pit. The wife who commits adultery is like a narrow well. She hides and waits like a thief. She calls many men to sin. Who is troubled? Who is sorry? Who argues? Who is promised? Who is wounds for no reason? Who is red eyes? Those who spend too much wine, or those who like to taste wine mixed with spices. Don't look at wine when it is red. Don't look at it when it bubbles in the cup. And don't look at it when it goes down smooth. In the end, it bites like a snake. It bites like a poisonous serpent. Your eyes will see strange stuff. Your mind will imagine weird things. You'll feel like someone sleeping on the ocean. You'll think you're lying among the ropes in a boat. They hit me, you think, but I'm not hurt. Maybe, but I don't feel. When will I wake up so I can find another drink? Psalm 144. Give praise to the Lord, my rock. He changed my hands for war. He trains my fingers for that. He is my loving God, and it is like before to me. He is my place of safety, and the God who saves me. He is like a shield that keeps me safe. He brings nations under my control. Lord, what are human beings that you take care of them? What are mere people that you think about them? Their lives don't last longer than a breath. Their days are like a shadow that quickly disappears. Lord, open up your heavens and come down. Touch the mountains, and they will pour out smoke. Then send flashes of lightning in the sky of my enemies. Shoot your arrows and chase them away. My enemies are like a mighty flood. Reach down from heaven and save me. Save me from outsiders who attack me. They tell all kinds of lies with their mouth. Even when they make a promise by raising their right hands, they don't mean, my God, I'll sing a new song to you. I'll make music to you on the lyre that is strength. The other God who helps kings win battles. You save your servant David. Set me free from death by the sword. Save me. Set me free from outsiders who attack me. They tell all kinds of lies with their mouths. Even when they make a promise by raising their right hands, they don't mean. While our sons are young, they will be like healthy plants. Our daughters will be like pillars. They have been made to decorate a palace. Our storerooms will be filled with every kind of food. The sheep in our fields will increase by thousands. They will increase by tens of thousands. Our oxen will pull heavy loads. Out of our city, walls will be breaking down. No one will be carried off as a prisoner. No cries of pain will be heard in our streets. Blessed is the nation about whom all these things are true. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. Now that's done, I shall now do the Lord's Prayer. Please bow your heads. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, as you also forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. See you tomorrow. Bye.